What up guys, Alex is here, GuitarForce.com. As you can see today we're going to take a look at Toxic Trace by Kreator. This was requested and supported by Mick, so big thanks goes out to him. This lesson we're going to concentrate on the rhythm guitar parts only, no solo. And the tabs are going to be available for downloads at GuitarForce.com. The link is going to be in the description box down below, so if you're interested go ahead and check it out. The tuning for this lesson is going to be standard at concert pitch 440, and the reason why I'm saying this is because if you want to play along with the original track you have to tune down a little bit. So I think they did like Pantera's, instead of using the concert pitch which is 440, they tuned down to 432. Okay, so on your tuner, if you want to play along with the original track you have to tune down to 432 and then tune to the standard tuning, alright? But for the sake of this lesson, we're going to be in standard tuning, concert pitch 440. For the sound I was using the same thing, the VST plugin Guitar Rig, and while you are checking out the picture of the preset that I was using for this lesson, I'm going to play you my low E string so you can tune up and play along with this lesson. Alright guys, so without further ado, let's go for the close-up. Unfortunately I don't have the backing track, so we're going to have to deal only with the guitar samples. So let's go for the close-up and start this lesson. Alright, so the intro riff goes like this. Okay, so what we have here is we have palm muted A string open, 8th notes, and then we have this movement which is open A, then we go 2-3 on the A string, and then we have two double stops which are, the first one is on the D string 3rd fret and on the G 2nd fret, and we take this double stop which is a major 3rd and we simply move it down 1 fret, so all together. Okay, so after we play the two double stops we then again play on the A string open, palm muted, and then we have this which is 2nd fret on the A string going to the 1st, then 4th to the 1st. Then we go to the D string and we play 2-1, 4-2. Okay, so we have. Now at the same time we have a second guitar which is playing a 3rd higher, but it's 1 octave higher, so it's a compound 3rd, and this pattern that I played on the lower strings goes like this. So it's the same thing as we do here, but we play it on the B string and the high E, starting from the 4th fret. Okay, so they play together, it's a 3rd apart, but it's a compound 3rd apart, so it's another octave. Alright, so we play this for 2 times, and then after the second time, after we play this riff, after we play, we have exactly the same figure, but we move up everything 2 frets up, like that. So it's going to be on the A string 4th frets to the 3rd, then 6 to the 3rd. Then we have on the D string exactly the same frets, so it's 4, 3, 6, 4. And in the end we have like 2 16th notes, which is like that, okay? And then we get back to playing the intro riff again. Exactly the same thing. The second guitar is, however, is doing just short, you know, this kind of thing where you hit the chord, just a power chord. And also when you go to, so the first note is B, so he plays the B power chord here instead of A, okay? So that's the only difference, that's the second guitar. The first guitar continues playing the riff as it is, and then when we played the last time, when we have, so we play this figure and then we go into this ending, which is again it's doubled up on the second guitar, but the first guitar is playing on the D string 9 to 7. Then we go to the A string and we play 9, 10, 9, 7, 9, 10, 9, 7, and then we play the E power chord. So slowly it would be like that. And the second guitar is doubling that up again, harmonizing it in thirds. So he plays it on the G string, exactly the same patterns but on different strings and on a different frets. So it starts with the 8 to 6, then he goes on the G string, then he goes to D and he plays 8, 9, 8, 6, 8, 9, 8, 6, 9, and the last note is actually the chord, the E power chord. So it would be like that. So if I were to play this last part all together, slowly it would be like this. Alright, so after that we'll go into the next riff, which is also being played during the verses, and it goes like this. Okay, so this riff consists of sort of two parts. The first part, we have some chords going on alternating with the low E string open, palm muted 16th notes. So we start off with the E power chord, and then we play 16th notes on the low E open, palm muted. Then we have the next double stop, which is 6 on A string, 5 on D, again alternating with the 16th notes on the low E string open. Then we have the next double stop, which is, so it's 7 on the A string and 5 on D, again alternating with the low E string open. Then we have some 16th notes going on different frets. So the first one is going to be on the second fret of the A string, then we go to the third fret on the low E string, then we have fourth fret going back to third, back to second fret on the A string, then we go 3, 5. So altogether this first part would be like this, slowly. Okay, so after that we repeat the first part again. And then for the second ending we're going to have a different ending, which is starts off on the third fret on the A string, then we'll go to the 5th fret, back to the 3rd, and then we'll go to the 1st on low E string. And then in the end we have this little pull off on the A string, 3rd fret to the 2nd, and then 2nd fret on the D string. Like that. Now sometimes you can hear this pull off going on to the second fret, or sometimes they would just play on the first fret on the low E string and then go right into the second fret on the D, like that. So if I were to play the whole riff during for the verse and also before the verse, which is exactly the same, slowly it would be like this. Alright, so structure-wise, we start playing this riff before the verse starts in, and also we have a little break there first, which is playing just these three chords. So it starts with the E power chord, then we have this, which is B flat with the fifth in the bass, so it's on the first fret on the low E and the A strings, and then third fret on the D. And then we take the same shape and we move it up to the third position, so it's a C with in the second inversion, which is the fifth in the bass, so it's again third fret on the low E and the A string, and then fifth on the D. So we have, and when we get to this chord, just two times, two hits. We let it ring out, and then we go into the previous riff, which is played during the verses. Now, alternatively, when you play this riff during the verses, instead of playing the E power chord, you can play the second double stop where we play. Okay, so these two double stops instead of E power chord, but you know, it's up to you. Okay, after the verse we go into chorus, and it goes like this. Okay, so here we have again kinda, you know, this kinda gallop figure, but it's not entirely, and it's played very fast. So we have a double stop here, which is on the 8th fret of the A string and 7th fret on the D. And you know, the best way is just to listen to the riff itself and try to play along. First, of course, start slowly and then build up the speed. So we have a double stop here, like I said, on the 8th fret on the A and 7th fret on the D strings. And what we do is we hit that double stop at certain times, and we alternate it with the 16th notes played on the 8th fret of the A string. And then, so we play this 3 times, and then 4th time we have another little double stop. It's just changing one note, which is on the D string. So instead of 7th fret, we go to the 9th. And we continue playing the same figure, and then we return to the initial double stop. So if I were to play this slowly, it would be like this. And then what we do is we take the same rhythmical figure and we move it down to the D power chord. And it's exactly the same rhythmically. So we hit this the power chord, and then we alternate it with the just single string, which is on the A string, and we do the same. We play 3 times the double stop, the power chord, and then we add the 8th fret on the D string, and we get this 5 on A and 8 on the D string. And then we go back to the power chord again. Okay, so let me play through slowly these two parts, what they sound like. Goes like this. Then after that, after we've played this for 2 times, we go to the B flat power chord and we do kind of same thing here. Just for 1 bar, and then the last bar is going to be just 16th notes playing the 6th fret on the low E string. Okay, like that. Now, on the tablature you will see that there are some added notes there, but actually we play these added notes in the last chorus, the 3rd chorus after the solo. When we play it, they play this figure in the end. On the first 2 choruses, they just play the straight 6th fret, 16th notes. Okay, so again, one more time, the whole chorus all together slowly would be like this. Okay, structure-wise, after we've played the first chorus, we go back to verse number 1, and we repeat exactly the same thing. We play chorus number 2, and then we go into the middle part, where we get back to playing the intro riff. And again, it's exactly the same thing as we did previously, but without this part. So we just stay on the A and playing this. Okay, now alternatively, you can play this riff right here, and actually the second guitar, I think, plays it right here. So it's exactly the same things, but you move, so you have the A string open, and then you go, which is 5, 7, 8, and then we have this double stop right here, and then you can play this part right here on the 8th, I'm sorry, it's 7th position. Okay, so it's exactly the same thing, it's just in a different position. So we play this riff for several times, I think 4 times, and then we go to the next riff, which I call the middle riff, which goes like this. Okay, so the first part is exactly the same as the intro riff, but we all do everything on the low E string. So we have again palm muted low E string open, 8th notes, and then we have exactly the same, but we move it down 1 string. And then we have this movement, which is, again, it's played on 2 guitars, it's doubled up in thirds, but the first guitar is playing 6 on the A string, then we go to the 5th fret and we fret D and the A string, and we start with D string, going to A string. Then we move down chromatically, so we move to the 4th fret, we do the same, the D string, then followed by A, another a movement down 1 fret. On the 3rd fret we have again the D to A, and then the last note is going to be on the 2nd fret of the D string. So we have like that, and then we get back to the, to the chugging going on the low E string. Now there is a second guitar, like I said, it's doubled up. This part up a third, so starts off. We move everything up one string, and now we start this movement from the D string, 5th fret, and then the rest is exactly the same, but we play it on the G and the D strings. So it's on the 4th fret, 3rd fret, 2nd, and then we finish it off on the G string, 1st fret. So we have. Now alternatively you can play it right here if you want to. So then it's going to be exactly the same on these two strings, but the frets are going to be different, and you're going to start with 10th fret on the A string, and then you go 9, 8, 7, 6, like that. Okay, so you can choose which part, which harmony you want to do. And then in the end we have, after we finish this middle riff, we have just two low E power chords, 2 chugs, and then after that we go into the next part, the middle part, and it goes like this. Alright, so here both guitars are doing the same in the beginning, the first 2 times. First chord that we have, it's 7 on A, 6 on D, and 8 on the G string. Kind of very dissonant one. So we hit the chord, let it ring out, then we hit it again, after that followed by 2 low E's, open, palm muted. Then after that we take this double stop, which is exactly the same without the G string, and we move it down chromatically. So we go to the 6 on A and 5 on the D string, and we let it ring out. Then again we hit that double stop, followed by 2 low E's, and we move this double stop the same exactly shape down another fret, so to the 5th and 4th on A and D respectively. And then the last part is going to be, so now we move all the way down to the 3rd fret on A and 2nd fret on D strings, this double stop, we hit it, then followed by 2 low E's again, then we hit the double stop again, and then we play the E power chord. So okay, so that's the middle part. Now, we play this, like I said, first 2 times exactly the same. Then what we have is second guitar is just playing, constantly chugging on that low E open string palm muted, and throughout this part, the first guitar or the second guitar is playing exactly the same part, but without the G string now, so it's just the double stop. Okay, and they play this until the end. Now in the end we have another kind of break which goes. And let me play through just one time so you can see and hear where it's happening. So it goes like this. So as you can see, when we get to this double stop where we play it on the 5th and 4th frets of the A and D strings respectively, we then include the C power chord. We hit it 4 times, and then we have, so it's again power chords, and we play them. Starts off with E power chord, then we go to F sharp, G, B, C, G, F sharp. So. And then after that we go right into the riff that we play during the verses. Into this one. And actually from this middle part we go right into the solo. Okay, so the rhythm part during the solo goes like this. Basically it consists of two parts. The first one is entirely exactly the same as the riff that we play during the verses, so it's this part, nothing changes here. We play it for 2 times, if I'm not mistaken, and then in the end we have another additional part which goes like this. So it's just 2 chords, the D going to E flat. So the rhythmical figure goes like this. We hit the chord, then it's followed by 16th notes, then we hit it again, followed by 16th notes, and the same applies for the E flat. Also, when we play this part, it's slowed down, the tempo is slowed down than the riff during the verses. So that's the first part. Second part consists of the first part of the riff that we play during the verses, so it's this one. So I play this slowly just to show you. So when we get to the 2nd fret here on the A string, after that we play this additional part where we play the D power chord, go into E flat power chord. However, there is alternative ending. So the first and third time we play the ending like I did, the D power chord to E flat power chord. However, the second and fourth time when we play this part, we play the D power chord. So 2 times. Then we go to E flat power chord, we play it only once. And then after 16th notes we move up to the F power chord. So if I were to play this second part, it would be like this, slowly. Like that, okay? So we alternate, like I said, the first and third time we play and the second and fourth time we play. Okay, so these are the 2 alternate endings. And then for the very end of the solo we have again 3 chords, but now we go to the low E string and we play the B flat power chord, just like we did with the D power chord, so it's exactly the same rhythm, and we play it for 1 bar. And then we move down to the A, playing only once, and then move down to G, and we play it also once, so we have. And then right after that we go into the 3rd verse and 3rd chorus. After that we play exactly the same as we did earlier, the verse and the chorus, with the only difference is, like I said, when we play the last part of the chorus, instead of playing the 16th notes here, we have this part where we alternate the 8th fret with the 6th 2 times, and then the last time is going to be 9th fret. And after the last chorus, the 3rd chorus, we have another break which goes like that. So we hit that double stop, which is the third, the major third. It's second fret on the low E and first fret on the A string, and we let it ring out. And then we go into the last part, the ending, which is exactly the same as the middle part. So we have again. So it's exactly the same. So we play this part until the end of the song, and that's how the song ends. Alright guys, so that was it for this lesson. I hope you liked it. If you did like it, please give it a thumbs up. Also comment, share, subscribe if you haven't already. Don't forget to visit GuitarForce.com for more guitar related stuff. In the meantime, I'll see you again. Take it easy, and as always, let the force be with you.